Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is John, or Last Frontier Bricks, and this is my review of the LEGO Star Wars 2020 501st Clone Troopers set, aka the original 501st Battle Pack. It is set number 75280, comes with 285 pieces, including 6 minifigures, and retailed for $30. And believe it or not, if you don't mind paying for international shipping, you can still get it at around that $30 price, although the most expensive one goes for around $100. This is probably one of the most popular LEGO sets to be released in the last few years. Again, that campaign, the hashtag We Want a 501st Battle Pack, probably helped quite a bit, along with M&R Productions. Although I do remember in the video, he does admit that this isn't quite what he had in mind. He was hoping for a more $10, $15 price set instead of, the big $30 set. Although I do remember, for what we got, he was pretty happy with it. And frankly, I am too. So here is the instruction manual. Still has the regular box art design instead of the CGI render. But as I said, I do prefer that look. Can't really place where this is supposed to be. Those are certainly some unique looking trees in the background. Trouble is, I don't remember where I remember them from. Anyway, you take a look at the instruction manual. It's got the usual ads for like the Lego app. Jumps straight into build with a total of looks like two, maybe three bags. Got your parts list in the back, and before that, you've got quite a few ads. You got the same ad for Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga as was in with the AAT I just recently reviewed. Got all along with all the sets in there. Plus, on the page before, you've got the list of all the figures included in those sets as well. Plus, you got a whole nother batch of sets as well. You got the Mandalorian Battle Pack, the Rise of Skywalker Pose X-Wing, the new Luke's Land Speed, the 2020-2021 Luke's Land Speeder, the 4+ Snow Speeder, Obi-Wan's Hut, the Kylo Shuttle, and Zori's Y-Wing Microfighters, the Skyhopper and Bantha, the Microfighter Dual Pack, the Sith Trooper Battle Pack, the Duel on Mandalore, and the Final Order TIE Fighter. So quite a list of sets here. As I said, I do have most of the sets in here. Only have a handful of the sets here. I've got the I've actually got quite a few. I've got the Mandalorian Battle Pack. I got the Duel on Mandalore, the Sith Trooper. I've got both the single Microfighters and the Obi-Wan's HUD. So again, quite a list of sets here. Quite a few I actually own. So let's go ahead and jump into the review of this set, starting with the figures. So starting off with the figures, we got a couple of throwaway battle droids. Of course, they do have the straight arm. I think this was actually I believe this was one of the earliest times where they had the straight arm. And unlike the recent sets I've been doing reviews on like the AAT and ATTE. That's it's a couple of mouthfuls. All the characters. All the characters in this set, the clones and battle droids, all have their blasters in the regular black. So nothing too crazy with the battle droids. We've been getting basically the same design since 1999 for the last 25 years. Kind of crazy it's been that long. But yeah, nothing too crazy, but a couple of throwaways in here just to give it a bit more of that battle pack feel. And next up, we have the real stars of the show of this set, the 501st Troopers. We get 3 of them in this set, which is great for army building. 2 of them come with the regular Star Wars blasters, like you see with the battle droid, and then we get one with the large blaster with the candle attachment on the barrel to make it that really big Star Wars blaster. Technically, these figures are unique, as this is the only set that came with them that didn't have helmet holes. And again, I really think LEGO should consider having both versions of the Clone Wars Clone Phase 2 helmets, one with helmet holes, one without, because none of these guys had helmet holes, and really they didn't really need them, so why bother having them? So let's go ahead and get rid of this blaster so we can get a really good look at this guy. Wonderful printing on the front, on the helmet, and they actually have, like, it's kind of weird that the 212 troopers with the ATRT weren't able to get the printing up this close, because this figure was only made a few years before that, and as you can see, it goes right up to like that the little ridge on the helmet. So why they couldn't do that with the 212 troopers is beyond me. But yeah, wonderful printing on the helmet and the torso. Good amount of the 501st blue all around, plus a little black. This is actually if I remember right, this is the very first version of the Clone Trooper where they had the white leg attachment piece instead of black. So interesting little history there. Even got a little bit of printing on the front of the feet. So nice, again, good printing there. Good printing on the back. And then, of course, this was the very first appearance of the brand new clone face, which looks just as good now as it did back then. So nice getting 3 of these wonderful figures. And for our 6th and final figure, we have a 501st Jet Trooper. I know I said like the 501st Troopers are the real star of the show, but this guy is the real standout character. Love all the extra detail on the helmet, like all the extra blue markings. They even got the little bit of red markings right there at the edge of the helmet ridge, and even down at the bottom. Both of those markings are very accurate. Speaking of accuracy, despite I believe, if I remember right, I remember one of the designers for this set said that this guy was actually inspired to be thrown in here due to their appearance in Battlefront 2, not Clone Wars Season 7. So just a nice little tidbit of information there. He does have blue arms instead of the white with the regular 501st. Some different markings in blue on the torso, but still look pretty good. Same markings as on the legs. His jetpack is, I believe it's the Boba Fett style jetpack, but in blue. Ooh, let's go ahead and get the head off. Same head design as the regular 501st Troopers, but let's go ahead and get the head and jetpack off so we can take a look at what it looks like on the back. See if that's any different. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it is a little bit different. It's got a bit of extra blue on the top. All right. So, yeah, again, wonderfully designed character. Again, these probably the standout figure in the set. But it's nice to get, like, when I do like it when they do the battle packs where it's like three copies of one figure and then one specialized trooper. So, and this is probably one of my favorite of the specialized troopers. So, good on you, LEGO. And for our first of the 2 main builds, we have ourselves a clone 501st Bark Speeder. Fun fact, LEGO would copy-paste this version of the Bark Speeder for the Bad Batch Attack Shuttle, in the Bad Batch Attack Shuttle, which came out only a year later, but in a much darker, more imperial color scheme for Crosshair. Anyway, when it comes to LEGO's oversized motorcycles, which this basically is, this is probably one of the ones taken to the most extreme. The Bark Speeder is, they definitely got like the right angles for the Bark Speeder. It's just way bigger than what it's supposed to be. Way bigger than what you would expect for a one-man speeder. But it does get a lot of good details down. Quite a few stickers on here. Actually, I think this piece right here, or like it's kind of the headrest, is probably the most sticker where it's got stickers on 3 out of 4 angles. And to be honest, considering like a lot of the sticker colors switch the dark gray piece to light gray, I almost wonder why they didn't just go with light gray in the first place. It probably would have been a lot easier. But it's you can see it's got a couple extra blasters for your troopers attached to the side. I don't know if those are supposed to be like actual blasters, but or like maybe they're engine details. So, but there's certainly something that you can do. Well, as you can see, it only fits one figure, and he does sit on there pretty well. Plus, you've got a couple of stud shooters on the front. I do like the addition of the the ski pieces is on the front and the back right here by the engines. It's like nice little attention, and for like the engine intakes on the side. Like I said, it's a nice build, but it does feel oversized for what's supposed to be. And for the other main build, my personal favorite of the two, we have the 501st ATRT. This has shown up in the Clone Wars. I think the main time it showed up was the Zygerian Slaver arc. But this does look pretty close to what you see in that. The feet are a good size. The toes are somewhat adjustable. You see a couple of stickers on the side of the legs here. Good mix of blue and gray all around. And quite a few stickers on the front here with the 501st on both sides, plus the top, middle, and bottom piece here. As you see, the cannon is a stud shooter. I think the 20th anniversary ATRT did better, where it was both a cannon and a buildable cannon and a stud shooter, whereas the stud shooter could be easily taken off. So this is I think I would prefer that over just having the regular stud shooter. But they did, they did change up one thing, and they made it so that the handlebar for the ATRT was a bit more stable than the one for the 20th anniversary one. You can take off the figure here a lot easier, and you don't have to worry about taking the handlebar with you. You do see that there is a printed control panel on the front there. There's things where your character, your first trooper sits. Only two studs holding him there, so he is a bit easier to be taken off and replaced. And on the back you can see you can have spots to both hold his blaster and a pair of macro binoculars. So good overall build for this ATRT. Let's go out to my final thoughts on this set. So for LEGO's first attempt at a $30 battle pack, I say this is pretty good. Like I said, getting 3 copies of the 501st regular clone troopers is fantastic, plus the 1 jet trooper. That's a pretty nice mix of 501st troopers. The one thing I would say is that obviously the 2 battle droids are completely overmatched. It would have been nice if they had their own vehicle, like say get rid of the Bark Speeder and give them something. And unfortunately, LEGO fixed that with their next $30 battle pack, the Clone and Battle Droid battle pack, which is out right now. But for their first attempt, this was a pretty good, and this was a pretty solid set. And I remember going picking this up at Technology, which was the closest thing that Idaho had to a LEGO store, because they didn't have one at the time. I just remember picking this up and being so happy that I managed to get a hold of one of these things. And I remember this thing just being there are so many places where it's just almost impossible to get a hold of. I think that's the one downside about this set was the lack of distribution. That LEGO severely underestimated how many people wanted this set, and how much this set was wanted, and how many copies of this set people wanted, because I remember there was a time where people were just buying them up like crazy to build their 501st army. Yeah. So yeah, this is a pretty solid $30 set, which I'm still surprised that on Bricklink, depending on where you buy it, you can still buy it at basically retail price, if not only a little bit higher. So yeah, if you're a fan of Star Wars, if you're a fan of the 501st, definitely pick this up if you still can. And that will be the end of this review. Thank you for joining me for it. If you guys enjoyed it, you know what to do. You can check out some more of my content on the end screen in just a few seconds. And I'll see you all in the next video. Later, everybody.